So the other day I sent a short email article to my readers on how Mozart uses texture to vary melodies so that he can repeat those melodies several times across an arrangement. For example, Mozart in his E minor violin sonata, which we've covered on this channel before, he presents us with a typically lyrical bel canto melody. And so we get this melody firmly into our brains. He presents the same melody again shortly afterwards. As you can hear, the melodies are exactly the same, and what Mozart varies is the music around the melody. At first, the melody is in a monophonic texture with the piano and violin in an octave unison. The repetition is then a melody and accompaniment texture, the violin taking the melody and the piano playing a chordal accompaniment. Mozart essentially is reorchestrating his music without an orchestra and only a violin and piano. This is important as these two melodies will be repeated again as part of the exposition of this sonata form. So Mozart wants them to be clear enough for us to obviously identify them and recognise them, so that when he gets to his development section or later recapitulates them, they're in our memory, firmly locked in. So Mozart wants them to obviously be clear enough for us to identify them, but varied enough for us to not simply hear the same thing 4 times or more even. Observing this in the music of Mozart is one thing, but how can we use this ourselves? How can we do this ourselves? Let's take a look by creating some of our own sketches. On screen I have a melody that I composed shortly before deciding to do this video. It's in a period form, though I vary the basic idea. Try to take some inspiration from Mozart, who often uses simple chord tones in his basic ideas. Having this melody, I already have 8 bars of music, as the first texture, if you recall, is monophonic. To demonstrate how you could translate this into a different context, let's arrange my melody for a string quartet. Now, before deciding to use a string quartet for this video, I initially sketched for piano and violin. However, the approach is more than applicable and offers a chance to see how we can revise and enrich things through the process of adaptation. Taking the same melody I played around with chords and applied some chord symbols. I then sketched out some chord voicings around the chord symbols I placed into the sketch. These chord voicings were then obviously adapted in my string quartet arrangement that I'll now play for you. As you can see in here, I add some passing tones and embellish the bass part beyond what the chord symbols alone suggest. I also tried to create an accompaniment and bass part that itself had interesting patterns going on, such as the quaver figure and these descending chord ideas. Nevertheless, the main thing is I now have 16 bars of music sketched out. It's not going to win any awards for originality, but I think it's a solid enough starting point for what could be quite a nice little string quartet piece. The way in which we might further advance this sketch is to add sprinklings of other techniques and influences. What if we add Chopin into the mix, for instance? In my video on Chopin's Nocturne No. 20, we saw how Chopin ornaments and embellishes repetitions of his melody. If we take my melody and simply vary and ornament some parts of it, we have a third variation of the melody, setting that melody into the 2 textures, one monophonic and one melody and accompaniment, would then give us 32 bars worth of sketch material that could start to be developed and arranged into a larger composition. Thanks for watching. If you'd like more composition and analysis videos, click subscribe. Liking this video is a great help too. And if you'd like extra musical tidbits, commentaries and exclusives, check out the NER Music mailing list. Put a link as a pinned comment below where you can find out more.